Welcome to the channel, The Prayer. When the universe was still shaping itself in beauty and splendor, and the sky was painted with dazzling colors at each dawn, a divine being of such greatness and power was born that to this day, we love and reverence. He remains with us through the ages, and his name resonates in our hearts as a source of warmth and protection. I'm talking about Saint Michael the Archangel, the Prince of the Heavens, the celestial warrior who wields his flaming sword, destined to be the protector of the innocent and the bulwark against the forces of evil. He, whose wings span like the vast sky and whose eyes radiate the determination and courage of the heavens, has been a beacon of hope for all of us in moments of despair and tribulation. It's not just a name or an image in a stained glass window. Saint Michael the Archangel is a manifestation of God's love for us, a living proof that even in the darkest moments, we are not alone. He is the living testimony of the divine promise that the forces of good will always prevail over darkness. And why is he so special to us? Because Saint Michael is not just a warrior, but also a symbol of faith, determination, and courage. In a world full of uncertainties and challenges, he reminds us of the importance of standing firm in our convictions, fighting for what is right, and believing in the power of good. When we speak of Saint Michael, we are not just invoking a celestial entity. We are invoking a long tradition of faith and devotion that teaches us about the power of prayer and the need to seek protection and guidance in times of need. He is the living reminder that no matter how difficult life may seem, there is always a greater force protecting us, guiding us, and lighting our way. So, as we delve into the history and the essence of Saint Michael the Archangel, I invite you to open your heart and mind. Allow yourself to immerse in the transformative power of faith and feel the energy and presence of this incredible archangel in your life. Because, through his intercession and protection, we can find strength, hope, and courage to face any adversity. And as we navigate this vast ocean of human existence, filled with storms and calm waters, there is a tool that has been given to us, as powerful as the universe itself and as intimate as the beating of our hearts: prayer. It's not just words murmured in moments of despair, but the hymn of our soul, the cry of our spirit, and the language of our heart echoing into infinity, seeking connection, protection, and guidance. Have you ever stopped to think about the beauty and power of prayer? In its purest essence, it is our intimate dialogue with the divine. When we speak to God through our prayers, we are not just seeking answers, but also reconnecting with the source of our existence, with the essence of creation, with the love that permeates every corner of the universe. And here is where the relevance of prayer as a tool of protection comes in. Imagine yourself walking through a dense and dark forest, where every shadow can hide unknown dangers. Now, imagine yourself equipped with a bright lantern, illuminating the path ahead, dispelling the shadows, and revealing the hidden beauty of the forest. Prayer is that lantern, illuminating the darkest corners of our lives, showing us the way, and keeping us safe. When we pray, we are not just speaking but also listening. Listening to the subtle voice of the universe, the whispers of angels, and the eternal wisdom that surrounds us. And this is how Saint Michael the Archangel enters our journey, not just as a celestial warrior, but as an answer to our prayers. He is divine protection manifested, the strength that shields us from adversities we may not always see but can feel. When we turn to prayer for protection, we are not just seeking refuge in words, but in a greater force, in a love that is unconditional and eternal. And when we combine our faith with the power of Saint Michael the Archangel, we create an impenetrable barrier, a wall of light and love that nothing can break. Therefore, I want you to understand the depth and importance of every word uttered in prayer, of every moment of introspection, of every plea for protection. For when we speak from the heart and with sincerity, the universe listens, the angels incline, and blessings are poured upon us. And in this vast universe of possibilities, our prayer is the anchor that keeps us safe, guided, and protected. As we turn the yellowed pages of history and dive into the depths of sacred scriptures, we find mentions and testimonies of a resplendent being of light who has been by our side since time immemorial. A celestial guardian whose story intertwines with ours in such profound ways that at times, it seems as though he was shaped from humanity's own hopes and dreams. I am, of course, speaking of Saint Michael the Archangel. The name Michael derives from Hebrew and poses the question, who is like God? And this simple question defines the role of Saint Michael the Archangel in our spiritual and historical journey. He is a constant representation of God's omnipotence, a constant reminder that, no matter how grand or daunting the challenges may seem, nothing can match the greatness of the divine. In sacred scriptures, Saint Michael's presence transcends cultural and religious boundaries. From ancient Jewish texts to Christian records and even in Islamic scriptures, Saint Michael is hailed as the primary defender against darkness, a leader among angels, and a protector of humanity. In the book of Daniel, for example, he is described as the great prince who protects the people. In Revelation, we see Saint Michael leading celestial armies in an epic battle against the dragon. In each mention, in each story, he emerges as a fearless warrior but also as a messenger of peace, balance, and justice. But his story is not just one of battles and victories. It is also a story of love, devotion, and constant care for all of us. A story that reflects God's profound love for each one of us, manifested through this magnificent archangel. As we delve into the essence that is the story of Saint Michael the Archangel, we find more than just events and accounts. We find reflections of our own aspirations, struggles, and hopes. We find a celestial friend who has walked by our side, guiding us, protecting us, and loving us, not just as a warrior, but as the epitome of divine grace and compassion. And as we continue our spiritual journey, we can be assured that with Saint Michael by our side, we are stronger, braver, and eternally blessed. And as we trace the role of Saint Michael in the scriptures, we realize a theme that emerges clearly and resplendently: his unwavering dedication as a defender of humanity. But what does it mean to be a defender? What drives a celestial entity, so powerful and magnificent, to stand between us and the adversities we face, both visible and invisible? Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a dense and dark forest. The night sounds resonate around you, and insecurity and fear begin to settle in your heart. But then, by your side, appears an illuminated figure, wielding a shining sword and with eyes full of compassion and determination. He doesn't say a word, but his presence brings an immediate sense of security and protection. That's Saint Michael for each one of us. He is the one who walks with us during the darkest moments, guarding us from dangers that we often don't even perceive. Saint Michael is often depicted with his sword, ready to defeat evil, but it's also important to understand that this is not a sword of destruction, but one of protection. It symbolizes the divine light that can dispel any darkness, any evil that tries to reach us. His role as a defender goes beyond epic battles in the heavens. He defends our dreams, our hopes, our faith, and our purest essence. But it's not only against external forces that Saint Michael defends us. In our journey of faith, we are often confronted with internal doubts, fears, and uncertainties that spring from our own hearts. Saint Michael is also there, as a silent guardian, helping us fight these inner battles, reminding us of the divine light within us, and encouraging us never to give up, no matter how arduous the path may be. Our relationship with Saint Michael is a partnership. He offers us his protection, his strength, and his light, but it's up to us to accept this help and allow him into our lives. When we do, when we open our hearts to his presence, we are enveloped by an indescribable feeling of love, protection, and peace. In the end, Saint Michael's defense is not just about battling demons or dark forces. It's about helping us recognize and nurture the light within us, strengthening our faith, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. And with such a dedicated and powerful guardian by our side, we can be sure that we are on the right path, protected and loved at every step of the journey. And now, as we delve into the depth of prayer, allow yourself to close your eyes and feel the atmosphere around you transform. Imagine yourself standing in a vast expanse of peaceful land, with the sky painted in pastel hues of twilight and the gentle singing of birds in the distance. It is here, in this serene setting, that we begin our invocation to the great Saint Michael the Archangel. At times, life overwhelms us with its storms and turbulence, causing the faith in our hearts to waver and tremble. And it is precisely in those moments of doubt and uncertainty that we turn to prayer, seeking an anchor or refuge. And what more powerful refuge could we desire than the presence of Archangel Michael? We begin our prayer by acknowledging His majesty and grace. Saint Michael the Archangel, leader of the heavenly armies, whose radiance rivals that of the sun itself, we address you with humble hearts and souls thirsty for your protection. Feel the words resonate within you, forming a direct connection between you and heaven. As we invoke His name, it's not just a simple call. It's an admission of our vulnerability, a sincere cry of our soul seeking guidance, strength, and protection. When we turn to Him in prayer, we are surrendering ourselves, placing our faith and hope in His capable hands, believing that He will be there to guide, protect, and light our way. And in this journey of prayer, where words become a bridge between heaven and earth, each syllable uttered carries with it the essence of our desires, hopes, and dreams. It is a sacred dialogue where our spirit soars, touching the highest celestial realms, seeking solace and refuge in the vastness of Saint Michael's love. Therefore, as we begin this prayer, it's not just a recitation of ancient words. It's a meeting of souls. It's humanity in its eternal quest connecting with the divine, finding comfort in the promise of protection and love that Saint Michael the Archangel so generously offers. And, in His immense grace, He is always there, listening, protecting, and guiding each one of us on our journey. In our spiritual journey, we often encounter obstacles that challenge our faith and resilience. There are storms that come without warning, storms that may be visible to human eyes, but others, intangible and hidden, that strike directly at the heart and soul. In these dark moments, where do we seek shelter? Where do we find a safe haven, a refuge to protect us from adversities? In the vastness of our being, in the depths of our soul, we cry out for help, for a guide, for a protector. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our refuge against the wickedness and snares of the devil. These words, filled with unwavering faith, are our cry for help, our search for light amidst the shadows that try to envelop us. Through them, we ask Michael to envelop us with His strength, His protection, removing from our path all hindrances and adversities. However, more than just words, this request is a commitment. A commitment to trust, to believe that even in the darkest moments, we are not alone. Archangel Michael, with his shining sword and piercing gaze, is always by our side, ready to defend us from threats that we may not always see but deeply feel. By seeking refuge in Saint Michael, we acknowledge that our earthly journey is filled with challenges but also with opportunities for growth. Each adversity is an opportunity to reaffirm our faith, strengthen our soul, and draw closer to the divine. And in this commitment, in this silent alliance between us and the Archangel, we find the courage to move forward, to face and overcome the obstacles that life places in our path. Therefore, when we utter these words of refuge, when we ask for the protection of Saint Michael the Archangel, we are not just seeking shelter from external adversities. Above all, we are seeking inner strength, the divine flame that resides within each of us and that, with Michael's help, can illuminate even the darkest paths. So, as we call for refuge, let us remember that true protection comes from within, from our hearts. And with Saint Michael by our side, this heart becomes an unshakable fortress, capable of withstanding any storm. Amidst the universe, among sparkling stars and the infinite sky, resides a power older than time itself, the power of prayer. And that's what I want to reflect on with you today. You see, prayer is not just a set of words or a series of rituals. It's an intimate dialogue, an honest conversation between our spirit and the Creator. Have you ever thought about the inherent beauty in bowing our knees, closing our eyes, and simply surrendering, opening our hearts to the divine? When we do this, we shed our titles, our possessions, our masks, and present ourselves in the purest and sincerest form, as we truly are. In a world where we are often encouraged to build walls around us, prayer is the act of opening a window, allowing the divine light to illuminate the deepest corners of our souls. But I also understand that, at times, prayer can feel like a challenging path. There are days when the words don't come, when silence feels heavy, almost palpable. And in those moments, it's natural to question, am I being heard? Are my prayers reaching the heavens? Ah, my dear ones, I want you to know that the answer is a resounding yes. Every whisper, every tear, every longing of the heart is captured and embraced with unimaginable love. Prayer is never lost. It never dissipates into emptiness. That's why I want to encourage you to persevere, to keep the flame of faith burning. Because when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, when we open up to divine grace through prayer, we initiate a profound transformation. A spiritual metamorphosis that allows us to see the world with new eyes, to feel life with an intensity never before experienced. Because, in the end, prayer is not just about asking or thanking. It's about connecting, about building a bridge between the finite and the infinite. It's a journey, an invitation to dive into the deepest mysteries of existence and discover, little by little, the wonders hidden in the essence of creation. So, the next time you find yourself in a moment of stillness, breathing in the night air or feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, remember that you are being invited to participate in something grand. A cosmic dance, an ancient song, a dialogue between the human heart and the heart of the universe. And in the midst of this vastness, your voice, your prayer, has a special place. Because every whisper of yours is a note in this divine symphony, a star shining in the infinite sky of grace. In the delicate essence of life, we often find ourselves entangled in knots and lines we don't understand. But when we pause and take a deep breath, we realize that a pattern is forming, a tapestry that can only be appreciated when viewed from a distance, with the right perspective. And, my friends, prayer is the key that allows us to gain that perspective. Have you ever had those moments when, even in the midst of chaos, you found a quiet stillness, a peace that surpasses all understanding? That's the magic of prayer. It has the power to uplift us, to transport us to a place where life's storms are mere passing clouds against the vast blue of the spiritual sky. And as we walk together on this journey, it's impossible not to marvel at the small blessings and synchronicities that appear in our path. Because, you see, prayer is not just a passive activity. It's an act of co-creation. When we open ourselves to the divine, when we trust and surrender our burdens, we send an invitation to the universe. We say, "Here I am, ready to receive, ready to be guided, ready to love and be loved." And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, always responds. It may not be in the way we expected or in the timing we desired, but there is always an answer, a sign, a blessing waiting to be discovered. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about a time in your life when you felt the divine presence closest to you. A moment when, against all odds, something wonderful happened, something that can only be explained as a miracle. hold on to that memory, cherish it, and know that every time you approach prayer with an open heart and a receptive mind, you are creating space for more of those miraculous moments. Because, in the end, life is not a series of random events. It's a divine dance, a play of light and shadow, and we are the dancers, the dreamers, the creators. And with every prayer, with every intention, with every gesture of love and compassion, we are weaving a new story, not just for ourselves, but for all of humanity. So, the next time you feel lost, confused, or overwhelmed, remember the strength that resides within you. The strength that can move mountains, calm storms, and transform the lead of adversity into the gold of grace. Because you, my dear friend, are a divine being, a spark of the eternal, and your prayer is the song that reverberates through the ages, uniting hearts and souls in an eternal celebration of love. In a world filled with voices and noise, we often find ourselves seeking comforting silence, a refuge for our weary souls. And in this quest, we discover that true serenity is not in the absence of sound, but in the harmony of the words we choose to whisper in our most intimate moments. These words are our prayers. Imagine a dense and dark forest, where each tree represents a challenge or concern we face in life. We walk through this forest, often feeling lost and alone. But even in the darkest moments, there is a light that gently shines among the trees. And that light, dear friends, is our faith, our hope, and our prayers. Prayer has the power to illuminate the darkest corners of our lives, to show us the way when we are lost, to give us strength when we feel weak. And, above all, prayer connects us to the divine, to that infinite source of love and compassion that resides within each of us. Every prayer we utter is like a seed we plant in the soil of existence. And even if, initially, we don't see the fruit of that seed, with time and the right nourishment, it will grow and blossom into something beautiful. So, even in times of doubt, we must not forget to sow our prayers, for the miracle may be waiting, biding its time to manifest. It's so amazing to think about how many prayers have been uttered over the centuries, each one carrying a desire, a dream, a plea. And while the words may vary, the essence remains the same, the quest for connection, for understanding, for love, and for peace. Because, in the end, we all seek the same things, no matter our origin, religion, or culture. We all seek to be seen, to be heard, and to be loved. So, as we continue our journey together, I want to invite you to dive deeply into the power of prayer. May we use this precious gift to heal, to inspire, to console, and to love. And may every word we utter not only be heard by the ears, but felt by the hearts. Because, at its core, prayer is the language of the soul, a song that, when sung with true devotion, has the power to move heaven and earth. In our last meeting, we talked about the power of prayer, about how it's the language of the soul. But the beauty of this language doesn't end there. In fact, it leads us to a new chapter, a place where we learn to listen, not just to speak. It's this transformative power of listening that I'd like to share with you today. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times, in the midst of a prayer, you felt the need to quiet down and simply listen? And I don't mean just listening with your ears, but listening with your heart. Because while prayer allows us to speak to the divine, listening allows us to hear His responses. Life is a constant whirlwind of sounds, emotions, and experiences. And amidst this storm, prayer emerges as a lighthouse, guiding us through turbulent waves. But as much as we seek divine guidance, we often forget that the answer may come in a soft whisper, in a moment of profound silence. Now, imagine a lake. A calm, crystal-clear lake, surrounded by majestic mountains and whispering trees. When we throw a stone into this lake, ripples form, expanding in ever-widening circles. Prayer is similar to that stone, sending waves of energy and intention into the universe, And just as the lake reflects the sky above, our souls reflect divinity. By listening attentively, we can perceive the answers that echo back to us, mirrored in the calm waters of our own existence. It's a universal truth that when we seek sincerely, we find. And as we dedicate ourselves to the art of listening, we begin to notice the signs, the whispers, and the messages that the universe sends in response to our prayers. These answers may not come in the way we expect, but they always come in the way we need. So, as we continue our spiritual journey together, I invite you to practice mindful listening. After each prayer, take a moment to simply be, to be present, to listen. Allow yourself to feel the divine presence, to be enveloped by that infinite love. And know that, in the ensuing silence, in the gentle beats of your heart, in the calm and deep breaths, therein lies the answer. Because listening, like prayer, is a form of love, a gift we offer to ourselves and to the universe. And it's in this sacred space that we find true communion with the divine. In our path of self-discovery and connection with the divine, we've already explored the power of words and the sacredness of listening. In this meeting, we will embark on a new dimension, the depth of gratitude. When we close our eyes and pray, we turn to a higher source of love and understanding. And no matter what our prayer is, whether it's a request, a reflection, or a simple thanksgiving, what truly matters is the pure and sincere intention with which these words are spoken. Today, let's focus on gratitude, that feeling that transcends words and connects us directly to the heart of the universe. Gratitude is like the sun rising after a dark night, illuminating and warming everything around it. It not only acknowledges the blessings in our lives, but also magnifies the beauty that often goes unnoticed in our fast-paced routines. Imagine, for a moment, all the little things that make up your day. The fresh aroma of coffee in the morning, the sound of shared laughter, the comforting touch of a loved one. All of these are gifts, presents that we often forget to be thankful for. Give thanks for the air filling your lungs, for the earth beneath your feet, for the stars dotting the night sky. Every moment, every breath is an opportunity to reconnect, to realign with the universe, and to express your gratitude. And the beauty of gratitude lies precisely in its simplicity. It doesn't require grand gestures or elaborate words. All it asks for is an open heart willing to recognize and celebrate the wonders of existence. By adopting an attitude of gratitude in our lives, we begin to see the world with new eyes. Every challenge turns into an opportunity for growth, every obstacle into a lesson learned. And thus, we start flowing with the currents of life, welcoming each experience with a grateful heart. So, I invite you to join me on this journey of discovery and celebration. Give thanks daily, whether for big or small things. And observe how this simple yet powerful practice will transform your life and strengthen your connection with the divine. Because, in the end, gratitude is the thread that binds us, the bridge that connects us to the sacred, and the light that illuminates our path. After delving into the depths of gratitude, we want to delve a little deeper and understand how this powerful feeling can be the foundation for a fuller life and a deeper connection with the divine. Perhaps you've wondered why some people seem to exude inner peace even in the most challenging situations. This serenity doesn't come from emptiness, it's fueled by a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude that isn't tied solely to major events, but to the ability to recognize the small everyday blessings. The song of birds at dawn, the cool breeze caressing your face, or even the warm embrace of a sincere hug. Each detail, each moment, is an opportunity to reconnect with the essence of life and, consequently, with the divinity that dwells within each of us. However, how can we cultivate this daily connection? How can we weave this invisible bond that ties the human heart to the heart of the universe? First, it's important to create moments of introspection. In the midst of the whirlwind of our routines, we often forget to stop and simply be. To be present, to feel, to live. Dedicate some time to yourself, even if it's just a few minutes. In that moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and simply feel. Feel the energy circulating around you, the beat of your heart, the thoughts floating in your mind. Then, expand this awareness to the world around you. Visualize each person, every living being, as an intrinsic part of the grand tapestry of existence. Recognize divinity in every smile, in every gesture, in every word. And with this expanded awareness, start to give thanks. Not just with words, but with actions. Be kind, be empathetic, reach out. For in doing so, you're not only expressing your gratitude, but also weaving a web of love and compassion that will eventually return to you. On this journey, know that you're not alone. We all, at some point, seek this understanding, this connection. And it's precisely this quest, this longing, that unites us and reminds us of the true essence of life. So, let's go together, hand in hand, cultivate gratitude, and rediscover the beauty and divinity in every detail of our existence. In a world constantly in motion, where noise and chaos often occupy the space that should be serenity and peace, it's common to feel lost, searching for something we often can't even define. However, within each of us, there is a compass, a flame that never extinguishes, even in the darkest hours. That deep yearning we feel, that search for meaning, is not a mistake or a flaw. It's the reflection of our soul-seeking connection, seeking to return home to the divine. It's a gentle reminder that we are made of something greater, something that transcends our earthly understanding. And it's in prayer that we find this bridge between the earthly and the celestial, between the human and the divine. Prayer is not just whispered words in moments of despair or gratitude. It's a dialogue, an intimate conversation between the heart and the universe. The beauty of this dialogue is that it doesn't require elaborate words or complex rituals. It only asks for sincerity, vulnerability, and openness. When we stand before the divine with humility, acknowledging our flaws and aspirations, we create a channel where blessings flow. Every moment of prayer is an opportunity for self-discovery, a chance to reconnect with the divine essence within you. It's a moment of introspection, of self-awareness, where we can reflect on our actions, our desires, and where we want to go. But beyond a moment of reflection, prayer is also a moment of surrender. To surrender our fears, our anxieties, our dreams. To trust that, even if we can't see the whole picture, there's a divine plan at work, working for our greater good. So, the next time you feel lost, disoriented, remember that flame, that internal compass. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to dive into the infinite ocean of prayer. For it's there, in the depths of this sacred silence, that we find the answers we seek, the peace we yearn for, and the unconditional love that sustains us. And remember, you are never alone on this journey. The divine is always waiting, ready to listen, guide, and bless. Within the universe, amidst the vastness of the stars, a light shines brightly, fueled by every whisper, every thought, and every emotion. This light is the essence of our connection to the divine, the invisible bridge that links us to the infinite. Each day, upon awakening, we have the privilege of receiving the gift of life, and with it, countless opportunities to connect with this spark. However, amidst the bustle of modern life, with its demands and distractions, we sometimes forget to ignite and tend to this inner light. When we allow ourselves a moment of silence, when we disconnect from the external and dive deep within, we begin to perceive the gentle and comforting melody resonating within our being. This melody, as ancient as time and yet ever new, is the song of the soul, the echo of our eternity. By permitting this deep dive, you might feel, perhaps, a wave of emotions, joy, gratitude, perhaps even sadness or pain. But it's precisely in this sincere encounter with our emotions that the true power of prayer resides. By expressing what we feel, by sharing our hopes and fears with the divine, we give voice to the soul and allow healing and transformation to occur. But how can we strengthen this connection? How can we ensure that, amid the daily challenges, we continue to nurture this divine spark? The answer is simple yet profound: through conscious intention and constant practice. The power of intention is immense. By setting a clear intention to connect, to nurture your spirituality, you create an energetic field that attracts blessings and opportunities. Every loving thought, every act of kindness, every moment of gratitude amplifies this energy, strengthening your connection with the divine. So, I invite you to embark on this journey. To dedicate yourself, every day, to moments of reflection and connection. Whether through meditation, reading sacred texts, or simply by contemplating the beauty of nature. Each step, each breath, each elevated thought is a flame that lights the way, guiding us back home, to the heart of the divine, where we truly belong. There is a story told through the centuries, one that transcends borders, cultures, and generations. It's not told with words, but with feelings, experiences, and moments of pure connection. And dear viewers, it's this story that I want to share with you today. Imagine, for a moment, a vast forest. The golden rays of the sun find their way through the leaves, dancing and playing with the shadows. Amidst this serenity, there's a stream. Crystal clear waters flow peacefully, and each drop carries with it the reflection of life around it. This stream is a metaphor for our spiritual journey. Just as the waters continuously move, we too are in constant motion, seeking to quench our spiritual thirst. At times, we may feel like we're merely traversing rocks and obstacles, but at other times, we find ourselves flowing freely, immersed in grace and gratitude. In this forest, every tree, flower, and creature has its own journey, its own story. Each contributes to the balance of the ecosystem, just as each of us plays a fundamental role in the grand tapestry of existence. When we recognize this, we realize that our prayers are not mere whispers into the void, but powerful echoes that resonate throughout the universe. In our moments of silence and introspection, we can hear the whispers of this brook, the silent melodies of nature that remind us of our connection to the whole. And this connection isn't limited to what's visible to the eye. It extends to the vast and infinite universe, where every star, every planet, is a silent witness to our journey. By allowing yourself to plunge into this brook, you may find precious gems of wisdom, fragments of ancestral memories, and the comforting certainty that you are not alone in this walk. Every prayer, every act of love, every tear shed becomes a part of this continuous stream of water, always carrying us forward, always toward the source of all life. So, I invite each one of you to join me on this journey, to allow yourself to be a part of this grand forest, to listen to the whispers of nature, and to recognize your own divine essence. And in doing so, may we together create a wave of love, understanding, and unity, strengthening our connection with the divine and lighting the path for all those who seek. And now, my dear ones, allow me to guide you through a new dimension of this splendid scenery. As we continue our journey in the forest, we notice that every detail holds a story. Just like chapters in a divine book, where each line, each phrase, leads us to a deeper understanding of life. In the heart of the forest, we find a clearing illuminated by the moon, its silver glow spilling onto the ground. It is in this silent sanctuary that we sense the presence of other souls, like us, seeking connection, seeking answers. The moon, with its ethereal radiance, reminds us that even in the darkest nights, there is always a guiding light. Nearby, a choir of crickets sings its song, accompanied by the distant howl of a wolf. These are nature's hymns, melodies that transcend time, speaking directly to our spirit. They remind us that every creature, no matter how small or large, has a purpose and a message to share. Now, imagine that you are sitting in this clearing, feeling the cool breeze on your face and the soft ground beneath your feet. In your hand, a tiny seed. This seed carries within it the potential to become something grand, a majestic tree or a delicate flower. Just like this seed, each of us carries an infinite potential within, waiting only for the right moment to bloom. Every prayer we offer, every act of kindness, is like watering this seed, nurturing it with love and faith. And as it grows, we also grow, expanding our understanding and embracing our divine purpose. And so, as the night progresses and the clearing is bathed in the gentle light of the stars, we are reminded of the vastness of the universe and the interconnectedness of all things. We are not isolated in our quest. We are bound by invisible threads of love and understanding. I invite you to cultivate your inner seeds, to connect with this marvelous web of life, and to recognize divinity in every moment, in every breath. And as we continue our journey together, may we be guided by the light of faith, the warmth of love, and the eternal hope that, in the end, we are all united under this same starry sky. As we walk together on this spiritual path, we arrive at a new dawn. Imagine yourself now by the edge of a vast ocean. The gentle and constant waves represent the rhythm of life, moments of calm and storms, but always in motion, always evolving. In the distance, the horizon unfolds, where the sky meets the sea. That distant point, no matter how unreachable it may seem, reminds us that there are always new possibilities and new beginnings. Each sunrise is an opportunity to reconnect, to reassess, and to renew. Feel the scent of the sea. Let it wash away your concerns, just as the waves cleanse the beach sands. Every grain of sand beneath your feet has a story, just like each of us. No matter how small we may feel in the face of the vastness of the ocean, we have our place and purpose in this vast universe. Now, imagine that you are holding a seashell. Delicate, unique, with its own pattern and history. Just as this seashell was shaped by the forces of the ocean over time, we too are shaped by the experiences of our lives. And like the seashell, we have the ability to reflect beauty and purpose, even when faced with the tides of adversity. There is a harmony in nature that we often forget. The sun that rises every morning, the tide that never ceases to flow, the stars that shine even on the darkest nights. This harmony is a reflection of divine perfection, a reminder that even in moments of doubt, there is an order and a higher purpose. Let the songs of seabirds uplift you. Allow the whisper of the wind to tell you stories of distant places and ancient times. Recognize divinity in every detail, in the dance of seaweed, in the graceful flight of seagulls, in the profound serenity of the ocean. Deep down, we all seek the same thing: connection, purpose, understanding. And the ocean, with its vastness and depth, reminds us that even if we don't have all the answers now, we are part of something much greater, something infinitely beautiful and mysterious. May this moment by the sea inspire all of us to dive deeper into our own souls, to seek the truth that resides in our hearts, and to embrace each moment with gratitude and hope. And remember, no matter how vast the ocean, it begins with a single drop. Likewise, the soul's journey begins with a single step, a single prayer, a single act of faith. The world, in all its complexity and wonder, offers us countless moments to connect with the divine. Whether through the simplicity of a smile, the majesty of a mountain, or the comforting silence of the night. Every breath we take, every laugh we share, every tear we shed, are small sparks of divinity that light our spiritual path. Let's imagine for a moment a garden. Not just any garden, but one that is shaped and nurtured by loving hands. This garden represents our soul, a sacred place that holds our hopes, dreams, and deepest desires. At its center, there's a fountain of crystal clear, bubbling water, symbolizing the source of life, the starting point and return of all things. Around it, flowers of all shapes and colors flourish abundantly. Some are in full bloom, displaying their beauty to the world, while others are still in bud, patiently waiting for their moment to blossom. Each flower has its time, just like each of us. And among these flowers, butterflies dance in the air, gracefully moving from one petal to another, reminding us of the constant transformation and rebirth that occur in our lives. Tall trees provide shade and refuge, symbolizing the strength and protection we find in our faith. Their branches reach towards the sky, seeking the light, just as we, in our moments of doubt and despair, reach out for guidance and comfort. The fruits hanging from these trees are sweet and succulent, rewards of hard work and dedication. They remind us that even in the most challenging times, there are blessings waiting for us, if only we know where and how to look. But, like every garden, there are also thorns and weeds. These represent the obstacles and temptations we encounter on our journey. They are there to test us, to strengthen us, and to remind us of the importance of staying true to our path. Finally, in the distance, there's a bench under a leafy tree. It's a place of rest, of contemplation. There, we are invited to sit, to listen to the birdsong, to feel the gentle breeze on our face, and to converse with the Creator. It's a reminder that amid the busyness of our lives, it's essential to find moments of quietude, connection, and prayer. So, the next time you feel lost or overwhelmed, close your eyes and visit this garden in your mind. Remember that you are loved, protected, and guided. And in every corner of this garden, there's a message, a lesson, and a blessing waiting for you. There's a river within our being, flowing with a gentle and uninterrupted current, carrying the essence of love, compassion, and hope. This river is fed by an infinite source, the same one that nurtures the stars in the sky and makes the sun shine every morning. It's the river of faith, flowing through the deep valleys of our souls and irrigating the fertile fields of our hearts. Imagine for a moment that you are by the bank of this river, feeling the serenity of its flow, the softness of its current. The water is clear, reflecting like a mirror the vastness of the universe above. You can see small golden fish gliding gracefully, representing the blessings granted to us daily. Smooth stones line the bottom, polished by time and the constant movement of water, reminding us of resilience and the ability to overcome that we all possess. Now, move closer to this river and observe your own reflection on the surface. What do you see? A face marked by time, by experiences, by the joys and sorrows of life. But also a luminous face, illuminated by the inner flame of divinity that resides in each of us. It's a portrait of the human journey, full of challenges, but also of triumphs and celebrations. As you lean down to touch the water, feel its freshness, its rejuvenating power. Each drop contains a story, a memory, a lesson. And as you allow this water to flow through your fingers, feel connected to everything that exists, to all the lives that came before you and all that will come after. It is here, by the banks of this sacred river, that we are invited to reflect on our lives, our purposes, and our place in the grand scheme of things. It's an invitation to dive deep, to connect with the source of all creation, and to remember that, no matter the obstacles we face, there is always a river of faith, hope, and love flowing through us, ready to guide and sustain us. So, the next time you feel disheartened, disoriented, or even lost, remember this river. Recall its strength, its beauty, and its eternal promise. And know that, just like the waters of this river, you are part of something much greater, something divine and unfathomable, and that you are never truly alone. Amidst the silence and tranquility, as we stand by the river of faith we've just contemplated, our eyes turn to the sky. The starry canopy stretches above us, each star pulsating with its own light, like hearts beating in tune with the universe. And in the vastness of the cosmos, we find ourselves, small but infinitely connected to all that exists. Imagine now that each star is a prayer, a supplication, a thanksgiving, an expression of love. And just as these stars, our prayers light up the darkness, serving as beacons of hope and guidance for all those seeking their way. In each moment, thousands of prayers are sent out into the universe, creating a luminous network of connections and intentions. And as distant as these stars may seem, they are much closer than we can imagine. Just like the prayers we offer, which, even though invisible to the eye, have the power to touch hearts, transform lives, and move mountains. In the silence of the night, as the world sleeps, prayers rise, joining the stars in a harmonious chant of gratitude and faith. Yet, it's not only the grand prayers, those uttered in moments of despair or profound gratitude, that hold value. Every loving thought, every act of kindness, every word of comfort is, at its core, a prayer. And even the smallest gestures have the power to create ripples in the fabric of the universe, causing an impact far beyond what we can see or comprehend. And so, as we prepare to depart from this celestial vision, we are reminded that prayer is not just something we do, it is who we are. We are made of the same material as the stars, carrying within us the ability to shine, to transform, and to inspire. And even in the deepest darkness, your light, your prayer, is never alone. The morning breeze is gentle, touching the skin and carrying with it the fresh scent of a new day. And with it, a promise of renewal and hope. The horizon, painted by the first rays of the sun, appears clearly, showing us that the darkness of the night is past, and a new chapter begins. At this moment, many of us find ourselves between sleep and wakefulness, a space where dreams blend with reality. And it is in this threshold, this brief instant before the world awakens fully, that we find a sacred sanctuary for our most intimate thoughts and prayers. Imagine that, around the world, thousands of people are connecting at this very moment, in silence, in reflection, in prayer. And all these voices, all these hearts, form a silent chain of love, faith, and hope. In every corner, in every home, in every church, mosque, temple, or synagogue, a divine spark ignites, illuminating the soul and rekindling the flame of faith. Every prayer is like a dewdrop, delicate and pure, joining others to form streams, rivers, and oceans of gratitude and love. And even though we often feel that our supplications are small or insignificant, they have the power to transform the environment around us, bringing relief, comfort, and hope to us and to those we love. Remember that, just as nature follows its course, renewing itself every day, we also have this innate capacity for renewal. With each dawn, we are gifted with a new opportunity to look within ourselves, to reconnect with the divine, and to strengthen our bonds of love and compassion. At this moment, I invite you to take a deep breath, to feel the present, and to allow yourself to be enveloped by this current of faith that unites us. Know that, in every prayer, in every loving thought, you are not alone. Together, we are stronger. Together, we illuminate the world with the light of hope. And as we welcome this new day, we open our hearts to receive the blessings and miracles that the Creator has reserved for each of us. There's a subtle harmony that permeates all of creation, a balance that manifests in the simplest and most complex things. In the hummingbird's buzz, in the murmur of a stream's waters, in the dance of leaves to the rhythm of the wind. This harmony, this delicate balance, is a reflection of the divinity that resides in every corner of this world. Within us, in the depths of our soul, there exists a sacred space, an altar, where we ignite the flame of love, gratitude, and faith. In this space, there are no barriers, no distances. It's here that we find peace, solace, and the strength to face life's challenges. And it's here that our voices, though sometimes trembling and hesitant, rise in prayer, seeking connection with the infinite. And the most incredible part is that, as small as we may feel in the grandeur of the universe, our essence has the power to touch the heavens, to reach the divine. Each prayer, each moment of reflection, brings us even closer to the source of all love and mercy. And as we connect with this source, we become beacons, radiating light and hope wherever we go. Have you ever paused to consider the miracle of life? The gift of waking up every day and witnessing the beauty that unfolds before our eyes? Each dawn is an invitation to renew our faith and gratitude, to celebrate life in all its fullness. Now, imagine that all this light, all this positive energy we emit in our prayers, can touch and transform the lives of others. Imagine that, by joining our voices, we can create a celestial melody, a song of love and hope that resonates throughout the world. It's this unity, this sense of belonging, that makes us realize we are not alone on our journey. There's an invisible web of love that connects us, sustains us, and gives us the strength to move forward, even in the face of obstacles. And as we prepare to conclude this sacred moment, I want to invite you to open yourself to receive all the blessings and wonders that the Creator has prepared for you. May your heart be filled with the certainty that, together, we are stronger, that our faith can move mountains, and that, even in the most difficult moments, there will always be a helping hand, a comforting shoulder, a word of solace to support us. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the divine presence surrounding you. And with a grateful heart, give thanks for every moment, for every blessing, for every challenge that has made you grow and become the wonderful person you are today. And as we open our eyes and return to our daily routines, may we carry with us this flame of love and faith, illuminating our path and touching the lives of all those we encounter. Because, in the end, that's what truly matters, to love, to serve, and to make a difference in the world. And remember, you are loved, you are precious, and your life has a divine purpose. So be it. I invite you to click on the video that's appearing on the screen now. You'll enjoy it. God bless.